I'm Lou Grant. Mary asked me to do a promo for Me TV.
You want to see me, Lou?
Not now, Ted. Watch me on...
Danish donut?
I said not now, Ted. Watch me on Me TV.
You don't like me? I'll fire you.
Watch Mary Tyler Moore, and I'll fire you.
Me TV Fresno, now on Comcast Channel 187.
Meow.
Hello, I'm John Malos, and welcome to Connect with Me on this Tuesday morning, live from the showroom floor at Ventura TV. Today we're talking to Blair Looney. He is the head of the Better Business Bureau here in the city of Fresno. We're going to talk about the latest scams. Those scammers are out to get you, and Blair is here to protect you. Hey, our telephone number is 265-4331. Area code 559. Again, 265-4331. If you have questions, call in and ask yours. Back in a moment.
Tonight I want to discuss the importance of the television medium to the American people.
And the focus today, of course, is on business. We've got Blair Looney in our studio talking about scams. He's the head of the Better Business Bureau, and Blair knows all about this stuff. He'll be here to talk about the latest scams and whatnot. You should call in at area code 559-265-4331 if you feel you are the victim of a scam right now, either on the internet or maybe somebody sent you a check, or whatever the case may be. Blair is here to try to clear it up for you. Don't get fooled. Don't get scammed. 265-4331. Blair is here to take your phone calls and answer your questions. Blair, by the way, just a little brief rundown on him. You know, from 1985 all the way to 2010, he had his own ad agency. He was the local BBB board director, or actually on the board, for the better part of 9 years. And just last year, in January of 2011, he became the president and the CEO of the Better Business Bureau in Fresno. Live in our studio right now is Blair Looney. He is going to talk about the latest scams that includes those trying to raid your bank account. Those people that are trying to raid your life savings in your bank. And they are out there, believe me. If they get your identity number, if they get your credit card, if they get your debit card, whatever they might be able to get. If you go to the store and you use your debit card and somebody's looking and they steal the numbers, they can scam you. They can get a hold of your bank account information. They can get a hold of your ID. And once they get your ID, forget it. If your identity is stolen, it's hard to clear up. It'll take a year or two or maybe even 3. I know someone who actually had their identity stolen, and it was a total mess. It took the better part of 2 years to finally clear it up. So if you feel like you are about to be a victim or you have been a victim, what you can do to prevent all these scam artists from getting to you. 265-4331. Blair Looney is around the corner in just a moment.
I love playing cowboy.
Come on, let's go.
I'm an old cowhand from the big old ranch, and my legs ain't bald.
If you're looking for a fight, you're gonna find it.
And my teeth ain't tan.
Say, you reckon this thing is loaded?
This is no doubt one of my favorite topics today. I'm very pleased to have in Blair Looney. He's the head of the Better Business Bureau. And I'll tell you what, Blair, welcome, first of all.
Thank you, John.
One of the biggest worries I have is somebody scamming me or stealing my identity or raiding my checking account. I think we all worry about that in this day and age, don't we?
Everyone should be aware of it, John. There's an opportunity for you with every transaction you do, whether it is at the store or online, to have someone take your identity. And so you need to be aware of what is out there in the marketplace, who's trying to get you, and how easy it is to harvest information about you.
On a scale from 1 to 10, in this day and age that we live in, the information age, how easy is it to scam somebody? How easy is it to steal their identity?
Oh, it's very easy, particularly with the amount of technology that's out there. And scammers are very ingenious people. They really think through of how they're going to get this information from you, and they have access to so many tools. I don't want to say that they can go to Radio Shack and buy them all, but they can get this equipment, and they can pull your identity off the magnetic strips on your bank cards, on your debit cards. It's real easy to do there. And then they have scams where they will harvest information from your computer. They're just different ways that they approach you, and you become a victim to the scam that they have out there. The lure of something sounds too good to be true, and it is going to be too good to be true. There's a promise of some reward for you, and in most cases it's money.
We were talking about this before we went on the air, and you were mentioning to me that I should not use my debit card. I can't go anywhere without looking at people that are in line in front of me. They're using their debit card, whether it's Food Max, whether it's Winco, whether it's Costco, whether it's at Sears, whether it's at Macy's. They're using a debit card. Should we or should we not be using a debit card?
Well, we at the BBB recommend that you do not use your debit card. Your debit card is a direct link into your bank accounts.
Well, then why do they have debit cards? Why does the bank give them out?
For convenience, for both the consumer and for the bank. There's no processing, there's no check processing
But
charge,
you're telling
for
us
example.
that a debit card is the easiest way to steal somebody's information.
If I had your debit card, I could go down the street and I could empty your bank account within a matter of minutes.
With no ID?
With no ID. I could go online and do it.
How is that possible? Explain that to me.
Well, because the magnetic strip is set up to be instant processing into your bank account to make the withdrawal from your bank account.
And you don't even have to go into the bank to do it. You just
That's
do
correct.
it from the...
I can be doing it from the grocery store.
Right, from the
Right
grocery
there, just
store.
sliding the card right through there, and that transaction occurs.
Okay, but you physically have to have the debit card, right?
Yes, you have to have the card because the data is on the back, the magnetic strip on the back side of the card.
Okay, but how would somebody get a hold of that magnetic strip? Not unless they have your card, right?
Well, there are skimming devices that can be put on those machines that you can harvest that information
Gotcha.
off of that, and that equipment can be purchased in an electronics store.
So the key is don't use your debit card, even though you have one.
I carry my debit card and I use it at my bank to identify myself when I'm making a deposit.
But you never purchase anything with it.
I never purchase anything with my debit
All
card.
right, we got a quick call here. Good morning. You're on Connect with Me with Blair Looney of the Better Business Bureau. What's your question?
Yes, I had a bad experience with that here a while back. My son did. You know how I got a crib on it? I got a prepaid credit card.
Okay, and your question is it a good idea to get a prepaid credit card? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, is that a good idea?
Well, we recommend that you get a credit card through a bank rather than buying a prepaid card at a store. One of the scams that we've seen happening is that you go up and you take that card off the rack. That card may have been taken off the rack previously by a scammer who will then take what that number is off of that card and then return it to the store. They will then go online with that card number and see if that account has been activated. Once you activate it, they can then make a purchase with that card, and what they do is they'll make a purchase and have it shipped to one of the postal box office stores in the area, and then they take the merchandise back to the store and trade it in for what they actually want. They can't track who it is and who's done that transaction, but what you have lost is the money that you put on that prepaid card.
Okay, that's a good idea then. Don't buy those prepaid credit cards. But even if you have a credit card, let's say from Bank of America, from Wells Fargo, from Citibank, what information does that card have on the back of its, on the strip on the back?
Well, every one of them's a little bit different, but it identifies who you are, what your bank account number is, and there's some other personal information. Each one of them's a little bit different about what they want you to fill out when you apply for that card.
But it's the same as a debit card then, right?
Yes, but the purchases on a bank card are protected by the bank. they will monitor the activity on your card to look for
Oh,
suspicious
okay.
activity.
Where they won't do that with a debit card.
That's correct, because
Okay.
that's directly into your account taking money out. For example, if all of a sudden my card were making a lot of purchases Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at 10:30 in the morning, that's my work time.
In
and
three different cities.
in 3 different cities, and that's my work time, and they know that the history of my card is I don't have activity at that time of day. So they see me using it at noon, they see me using it early morning.
So you're going to get a call from your bank and say, hey, Mr. Looney, are you in Houston making a purchase or borrowing money or this or that? And you're going to say no. And at that point, what, they cut it off?
They'll cut it off with you and they'll send you a new card. This has happened to my wife very recently.
Yeah.
She got a call from the bank saying, your card number is showing up at a pizza restaurant on the Central Coast. We noticed that you bought gas in Fresno today. And how are you buying lunch over there? Well, I'm not. I'm in Fresno, and this is not working this way. And
So what did they do?
They went through the whole drill. They canceled that card. They canceled that purchase in Monterey, and they sent her a new card, and she had her new card within 48 hours.
Oh, man, a lot to look at all these papers that we're going to go through when we come back, all these scams that we got to talk about. We got plenty of time, and your phone calls at 265-4331. We're talking with Blair Looney, the head of the Better Business Bureau, the president and CEO, by the way, here in Fresno. Back in a minute.
Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're the save energy, save time, save money place. The Energy Star qualified #1 rated high-efficiency Cabrio from Whirlpool Place. You heard right. Right now, save big on select Whirlpool Cabrio laundry pairs and pay no interest when paid in full within 6 months. At the hometown low price, think outside the big box place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
We're talking fraud on this day, fraud, with Blair Looney, the president and CEO of the Better Business Bureau. He is here, and I want to go through this scam list here. I mean, this is an astounding number. For the year 2011, you had more than 100,000 scams here in the state of California worth more than $210 million. That is amazing. Just for the year 2011.
2011, that's in the state of California only.
Only?
The average scam in California was worth over $2,800. That's what they took from
That's the average scam.
That's the average
individually.
scam. Individual
Right.
in the state of California lost over $2,800.
It's actually $2,839 if you want to be exact, but more than $210 million. Well, it's $210,644,569. A total. That's the total number of dollars scammed in California alone last year.
Nationwide, the scam industry has grown to $1.2 billion plus dollars. It is just out of hand, and consumers continually are falling for the same repeat modified programs all the time.
You know,
Very
the old
creative.
saying, fool me once, it's your fault. Fool me twice, it's my fault. In this case, why are so many people being scammed? Is it the scammers, or are the people that are being scammed are just over and over again, they fall for it? What is it?
We talk about it in the office a lot, John, and we believe that these economic times have people a little bit desperate for something free, something easy, and because it's so convenient to respond.
Don't people know by now that's just a, you know, that's not going to happen?
Well, we've been doing our best to
Nothing is for free.
Yes, we've been doing our best to try and educate the public to watch out for these. There's no free money out there. There are 9 major scam categories that we put things into, and watch. Each one of them gets a little bit different twist and a little bit different modification to it.
It's a fantasy if you think that you're going to get something for free. I mean, Ed McMahon is gone. He's not going to show up at your front door. Okay,
Right.
He's long passed away.
Right.
But I want to go to the internet. Ara, our producer here and director, he's going to put up the internet. We're going to go through these. Hey, here it is right now. Let's go through the first one. It's overpayment and fake check scams. And he's going to punch it up and you can explain it.
Well, what happens in this particular scam is that you will get a letter in the mail, and it will have a fake check. In fact, I have some here where there's a check that has come into some people in North Fresno, and it promises them the opportunity to get $175,000, and all they have to do is deposit this $3,900 check into their bank account for the administration and processing of this program. And what they've done, and then they turn around and they have to issue a check to pay for that administration fee.
But all the while, their long-term goal is to get access to your account information, right?
That's precisely exactly what happens.
So they send you a check for $3,000. They say if you cash this check, you're going to win $175. Meanwhile, while you cash it, they have your information.
They're harvesting your information, and you're turning around and sending them a check for the money on this check.
Unbelievable.
To process it.
Unbelievable. And that's the check. That's the actual check right there. I'm holding up, by the way, that Blair was talking about. Let's go to the next one, and it's called emergency scams.
Well,
What's
this is the one that
about?
you and I were talking about. That you had a friend who sent you an urgent email that he was overseas and that he was at the embassy and he'd lost his wallet and his passport.
Wire me some money.
Wire me some money. I had a friend, one of my Rotarian friends had this happen to him, and he asked for $1,800 to help him get home. Wonderful guy. There were 300 Rotarians who were contacted by this, and unfortunately a few of them wired him the money.
Oh, my
And so
goodness.
they've lost that money, and of course he's trying to help him recover it, but that's not going to happen.
Don't take the bait. Don't bite.
That's exactly what happens.
Right?
That's exactly what happens.
Oh, can we go to the next one there? Change it, Ara, and we'll go to the next one before we go to break here. And what's this one? Employment scams.
Employment
I love
scams this is the one where we have a job opportunity for you, and I think we have one of these right here. This is we have a job opportunity for you to be a secret shopper, and we're sending you a check for $3,773 that's going to pay for your training. It's going to pay for you the funds that you need to do your first shopping trip, and from there you deposit this and you start writing those checks out, and guess what happens?
Go ahead and hold that up and we'll take a shot of it right there. That's the check. That's the actual check. I know you can't see it up close, but so this promises employment. They send you a check, you cash the check, boom, again, they have your information.
I've never been employed by anybody who pays me before I start working for them.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And you know, the people who can least afford this are the ones who are harvested.
Quickly, let's go to the next one. Advance fee and prepayment scams. We'll do this one, then we'll go to break.
Okay, well, what that is that there's a program in place that you are invited to participate in. And to participate in the program, you've got to pay in advance. And you're going to make $2,800 off of this program in advance, but you've got to pay $210 to sign up and participate. And, well, that's not a free program at all. You're paying for it. And, again, they're accessing your accounts, and they're harvesting information on you so that they can then raid your bank accounts at a later date.
Yeah. We're talking with Blair Looney, and again, if you receive a check like this one in the mail that promises you something, cash the check, okay, and we promise to give you this, that, or the other thing. Don't cash it, because if you cash it, immediately they have your bank account information, they have access to your ID, your savings account, your life savings could be gone. We're talking with Blair Looney, 265-4331. Back in just a moment.
From now on, when I sneeze, I'll try to sneeze more friendly.
And we're talking about scammers today. Don't be the victim of a scam. Boy, they're all out there. They're out to get you, aren't they, Blair?
Oh, they absolutely are, John.
Out to get you. Let's go to the next one. We're talking about phishing scams.
Well, this is one where even the BBB got fished.
Really? You got snookered?
We got our data bank harvested by emails, and they sent out a fake notice to the accredited businesses of the BBB that there was a complaint with them. with us and that they needed to respond by clicking this link. And the link was not to the Better Business Bureau, it was to the scammers where they were, and in this case they were offshore.
Okay, but how do you know? I mean, anybody can get an email, and if unknowingly they could open it and it opens a link to something. How do you know?
Well, you've got to read it very carefully. And in the case of the Better Business Bureau, check with us, because we do not email you that you have a complaint. We call you first and let you know, and then we use the postal system and mail you the complaint. In this case, what they were doing was having you link on, and then it attach malware onto your computer, and then they would then go back and harvest the information in your computer. And if you have keep track of your bank accounts, or you do budgeting off of there, and keep your budget on your computer through one of the software programs, they're getting your account numbers and being able to harvest you.
Scammers may not have graduated from Harvard, but they're smart.
They're very smart, and they're very street smart and very creative, and they're using tools that are very sophisticated and difficult to follow.
Let's go to the next one. It's called sweepstakes and lottery scams. I think of Ed McMahon when I think of the lottery. You know, you've just won $1 million.
Well, and one of the biggest ones off of this is that you are going to be entered into a drawing for a lottery out of the United States. And it costs you practically nothing to buy this ticket, and your chances of winning, or you've already won. But you need to send us money for processing and administration to get you what you have won in this lottery and in this sweepstakes. And it's all a scam. It doesn't work that way at all. And it is illegal to buy a ticket for a foreign lottery in the United States.
How does it work? How do you know if someone's trying to scam you on a lottery type situation or a sweepstakes situation?
Excellent question, John. If you didn't buy a lottery ticket, how are they going to know that you've won? Bottom line gets down to that. Did you buy the ticket or not? But somebody's just not going to randomly send you a note that says you have won the Irish sweepstakes when you haven't been in Ireland and you didn't buy the ticket.
First of all, you had to have bought a lottery ticket. You have had to fill out papers, obviously, to enter a sweepstakes contest, right? Your name has to be in the hat.
If you haven't entered, you can't win.
You can't win. So that's the most obvious way.
Correct.
All right. Next one is identity theft scams. And let's click on that one and talk about that, Blair.
Well, people are trying to harvest your information all of the time. Your identity is out there on your bank cards. It's on debit cards. It's on your checks. You've got to be very careful of how you utilize your private information.
Quick call here. Blair, good morning. You're on Connect with me with the Better Business Bureau. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. What's your question?
Well, my question is, I wanted to ask this gentleman, I get all kinds of stuff, and a lot of it I know is scams, but lately they've seemed to have changed their tactics. They send you this stuff, and then the return envelope is not addressed directly to the people that have sent it. It's directed to a mail processing center. And I want to ask him a question about that, what that's all about. I have a hunch what it's about, but I just want to ask him and find out what he's got to say about it.
Well, part of that is that by utilizing the post office, you get into mail fraud, and you get the federal government involved, and that's a major crime that they're into utilizing that mail processing center. And most of those are going to go to a P.O. box somewhere that doesn't exist. It's not a real business. And those, they watch. We've been working with the postal authorities on this, and they've been watching those P.O. boxes, and they start to track who comes in and out and watch for when you reach for a particular number. We watch that criminal go in and attack that box and get that information from there.
Is that one of the biggest growing scams right now?
It's a very, very active scam. It's just, again, it's promising people something that is too good to be true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, there's one other one I'd like to ask real quick.
Sure, go ahead.
I get this stuff from these supposed charity organizations, and they tell you that, making a donation will not help your chances of winning, but they tell you they're going to give you like 10,000, or one I get quite often, and I don't send them nothing, but or mess with them, I just shred it. But they're supposed to have $1 million prize, and it's supposed to be a charity organization, you know, that is supposed to be helping veterans and so on. And so I look at it and I think, no, wait a minute. If they got $1 million to give somebody, why don't they use that to help these people with that they claim they want money from me to help them with?
Well, that's a real good question.
Point. Now,
Why don't they do that?
He's thinking. He's thinking.
Yeah, he's well engaged in the process. What we recommend is for people to check with the Better Business Bureau with our Wise Giving Alliance for Charities, and we can give you information about that charity, whether it is true and it is accurate, and whether that's a scam that they have out there or not. So check with the Better Business Bureau if you have any questions at all. Go online, you can check with us electronically, or you can call us up, and we're happy to help you in any way we can.
That was a great call, and I like that caller, and I'll tell you why. Because he didn't accept whatever he was getting in the mail at face value. He thought about it. Wait a minute. If they're giving me $1 million and they want me to send them money to help with their cause, why don't they use the $1 million to help with the cause instead of asking me for money?
That's exactly right, John. And think how many people are going to fill out that form and send them a little bit of money. And what they're playing is the odds of the number of people who will send them $210.
That's amazing. Amazing. We have another phone call. Hope this one is a good one, too. I'm sure it will be. Good morning. You're on Connect with Me with Blair Looney of the Better Business Bureau. How are you? Good morning.
Okay, I just have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I was just wondering regarding on the debit card usage. There's two of them, basically. How do they get your PIN number? Because normally you use your debit card with a PIN, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and on the second question, I've received several text messages on my phone stating that I've won $1,000. Just call this number and then go to Best Buy, or I'm trying to think what the other store was, to pick up your winning, purchase.
Okay.
So is that also a scam?
Two questions.
That's a great question. Let's go to the first part. On the debit card, how do they get your PIN number? Do you see people standing around near you when you're entering those numbers, just punching those? They have electronic devices that by the beep codes that go into there, they can tell what your numbers are that you're entering into. So once they get with the skimmer that's on the card machine, they got your data there, and they've electronically linked the sounds from your credit card or your debit card, and they know what your PIN number is going to be. The text messaging is very similar to harvesting information off of your computer. They attach malware to your cell phone, and this is a growing concern, particularly through social media, that we all seem to be able to access with our smartphones.
So the best thing to do is don't respond to it.
Absolutely not. There are two of them that are out there right now. One of them is with Walmart, and you're going to win a $1,000 shopping spree at Walmart, and it is absolutely a phony, false scam.
Blair, two more to get to before we go. We're out of time almost. Home improvement scams. Let's click on that.
Well, this really doesn't apply that much to the Valley, but what that scam is about, for the most part, is when there has been like a hurricane or a flood or something, and you need to have repairs made. Well, you'll get a contractor who will come and say to you, well, I can put you on my list and I can take care of you right now, and for this much down payment, I can get onto this work, and people are so panicked and urgent to get it done. They give them the money, and the contractor never comes back.
And another quick one before we go, sales and what does that say? Let's see, move the hand there, rental scams.
Oh, well, this was a big one in the Valley with so much foreclosure and empty homes that people are renting homes that they do not even own. They'll present themselves as the landlord, have people come out. They'll advertise the house, for example, on Craigslist. You'll come out, you'll take a look at it, you'll write a contract for them, and they'll take your rental deposit and be gone, and you don't rent the house.
Quickly, what's your phone number? We got 10 seconds.
222-8111.
Okay, so if you have any questions, call the Better Business Bureau.
Call the Better Business Bureau.
222-8111.
8111.
We didn't even get to a portion of this, but you're going to come back again, aren't you?
I'll look forward to it.
Blair Looney, good to see you.
Thanks
you,
John.
for coming in. I appreciate
Thank
the
you very
advice
much.
and great information for our public and great phone calls today. Our thanks to Blair Looney, the president and the CEO of the Better Business Bureau. We're back tomorrow with more of Connect with Me. Have a great day.